What is up, guys? JT Tapias with the Empty Your Bucket Nutrition Plan, and today I'm going to give you a formula that is going to radically change the way you look at fitness once and for all. You ready? Here we go. Today we're going to speak about how to easily burn fat. I know that sounds like a big, bold promise that you're like, JT, you can't deliver on this because I've already tried X, Y, Z, and I've done all the things that I need to do, and I'm just big boned, or I just don't lose weight, or it just doesn't happen for me, or my metabolism, or my thyroid, or my hormones. And you have all these things that you think, and you keep telling yourself the story, you haven't been able to lose weight because of X, Y, Z. So hear me out. I want you to put all of your preconceived notions and limiting beliefs aside, okay? Just put them aside for 1 second and listen to what I have to say. I promise that if you stay with me for 7 to 8 minutes, I'm going to deliver on this promise, okay? I went to a Tony Robbins event many years ago, and it was a 3-day event, and I was exhausted by day 2. I was so tired. I was ready to go home, and I remember my buddy Steve, who went to the conference with me, was like, man, you got to stay for day 3. Day 3 is a day where he speaks about, wellness and nutrition and exercise, and that's your gig, man. You got to stay. And I'm like, no, I'm exhausted. I've already heard it all. What am I going to learn there? I was being super arrogant. And he kindly and gently and tactfully he's like, hey man, what if you just make one small distinction that can make all the difference for you and for your clients? And when he said that, I was like, okay, all right, I'll stay. I said, I'll stay for 1 hour and see what happens. Man, on day 3, this guy blew through the roof with the information that he was putting out there. I honestly believe that Tony Robbins teaches a lot of great things, a lot of different strategies and things for your mind, your will, your emotions, and things of that nature. But man, he over delivers when it comes to fitness and nutrition, because that's a big part for him. He understands that if this vehicle is producing the right kind of a response, then we can get exponential growth in all areas of our lives. And so he taught on a concept called slow burn cardio, which he learned from a guy named Stu Middleman. Stu Middleman, he's a world record holder. He ran 1,000 miles in 11 days. He has another record of 85 miles. And I believe it was in 56 days that he ran from San Diego to New York. That's basically 2 marathons a day, 56 days straight. So when he started telling this story, he had my attention. I'm like, who is this guy? And on top of that, the guy was like in his 60s when he did it. So I was pretty blown away. And he explained that the way that he prepared for all of his races and big races was through walking. Now, I was used to throwing weights around, sprinting, running, biking, doing all these high intensity things because that's what conventional nutrition, health, and wellness and that world teaches. It says you have to go all the way or no way. If you're going to diet, you have to diet super strict, and you can't have any kind of, little cheat meals for X amount of days. And if you're going to work out, you have to work out this hard. If you're going to run, you got to run that hard. And so on and so forth. So when Tony stood up there and he said, the best thing that you can do for your health is power walk at a specific heart rate, and you're going to decrease body fat percentages and lose unwanted weight like never before, I was like, I don't believe it. But he had my attention. So I continued to listen. And of course, I had to go right after the conference and buy Stu Middleman's book on slow burn. I devoured, this 300-page book, and it radically changed the way I did my fitness and the way I taught my clients on how to work out and how to eat. I want to talk to you today about specifically this concept of power walking, slow burn cardio. And slow burn cardio basically says, I'm going to put the equation in the description box. So down below in this video, go to the description box and I'm going to give you the exact mathematical equation so that you can come up with a specific heart rate so that you can go do slow burn cardio and get massive returns on investment. And so if you're looking to easily burn fat, my friend, slow burn cardio will be one of your best allies. So number 1, you want to do slow burn 3 days a week. Once again, go in the description box in this video, get the mathematical equation for that, okay? Do the math right. It's dependent on your age, so make sure you take a calculator, you calculate your low numbers and your high numbers, and then you want to stay in that particular range for 45 minutes to 60 minutes. If you don't have a heart rate monitor, all you have to do is walk at a pace where you can sustain a conversation without being out of breath. Do it for 45, 60 minutes. Be patient with it. Give it at least 40 days of consistency, 3 days a week, and you wait and see what's going to happen to your health. Number 2, I want you to transition from the idea that you have to eat all of these starchy carbs in order to survive, right? People will tell you that you need the brown rice and the quinoa and the couscous, and what about the fruit, and what about the nuts and the almonds and the seeds, and to all those things. I say there's a time and a place for everything, and I don't demonize any food group. But for now, point number 2, I want you to actually mostly proteins, lean proteins, all right, grass-fed proteins, green leafy vegetables, and good fats. Now, I'm not going to break down what every one of those is because I've done many videos like this before. You can go back and check some of those out. I'm just going to give you the basics, okay? So number 2, you want to make sure that you're eating lean proteins, greens, and good fats. Number 3, you want to make sure that you're drinking at least 62 ounces of water. Our bodies are mostly made of water. Most of us are desperately dehydrated, and this is why we're constantly hungry and we're getting all this need for snacking, because we are constantly dehydrated. So a minimum of 62 ounces of water a day. Number 4, you want to make sure you're sleeping 7 to 8 hours a night. I know that's hard for many of you because you stay up late watching Netflix. I'm here to say that if you want to conquer your health and you actually want to get strong and healthy and lose body fat percentages in record time, then the thing that you need to do is actually sleep 7 to 8 hours a night. Whatever needs to happen, go to bed early, get up early, go the entire day so that when you get home, you're exhausted and you can put yourself down to bed. Number 5, you want to minimize drama, okay? Drama is the number one thing that gets people in trouble. And the reason for that is because when there's drama in your life, you're secreting cortisol. Cortisol is a stress response hormone, and it's not favorable to weight loss. I've said this in many of my videos. So you want to minimize drama. And then the question is, well, JT, how do I minimize drama? Right? If things are coming at me, how do I minimize? Well, you become proactive. Yes, that's right. You become proactive. Most of you guys live in a state of chaos because you get up exactly when you need to get up, like boom, right there. You get up, you brush your teeth, and you're out the door. You're rushing at things, you're stressed. It takes you 2-3 hours to actually wake up, and by then you're like halfway through the morning. And so you want to make sure that you're being proactive. You're going to bed on time, you're waking up earlier, you're writing things out, you're meal prepping, you're being very cognizant of people, places, and things. Those people that bring a lot of drama into your life, you can love them, but love them from far, right? You don't need to bring them into your life because they're going to cause a lot of drama, a lot of friction, and that, my friend, will keep you from getting great results when it comes to your health and your wellness, as crazy as that sounds, right? Number 6, you want to make sure that you're adding some kind of resistance training, right? Now, notice that I left resistance training for the end, where most of you guys, the first thing you think about when you're looking to get fit and lose body fat percentages is go to the gym. And I'm here to say that that's a great thing, but it's kind of last on the list. It is an important component. I'm not saying it's not. I'm simply saying hold it to the end, because if you can dial your nutrition and you can dial the right kind of cardio and you can sleep well, you can hydrate well, when you go to the gym, you're going to see tenfold results, and you're going to think, why didn't I do this before? Okay, so you want to make sure resistance training is kind of the last piece, the last component in the equation. And then you only have to be there 3 days a week, right? You want to make sure that you leave a day in between so that you can let your nervous system rest. A lot of people don't talk about this. When you actually work out, it's stress, it's positive stress, but you want to let your nervous system rest so that when you go back, you're restored, renewed, and then you can go hard again. And recovery is as important as actually training. Lastly, I'm going to say that you want to avoid processed foods at all costs. If it comes in a jar, in a bag, stay away from it. Anything that nature produces is good for you. The more of that you get, the better for you. And the easier nutrition becomes so that you don't have to make it so complex and have to think about the macros, the calories, the points, the this, the that. Just buy food that is made by God, and you're going to avoid 9 out of 10 problems that you can have when it comes to food complexity, nutrition complexity, okay? So I gave you 7 points here that are highly, highly important. You want to make sure you incorporate your slow burn. You want to make sure you're eating your proteins, your greens, your fats. You want to make sure you drink at least 62 ounces of water. You want to make sure that you're minimizing drama in your life. You want to make sure that resistance training comes into your life every other day so you're letting your nervous system rest. And number 7, you want to avoid processed foods. I want to bring it back and emphasize the importance of slow burn cardio. Buy Stu Middleman's book, Slow Burn Cardio. Get this book. It's an old book. It's about 300 pages. I'm telling you right now, it's worth every single penny. And it is like a master's degree in exercise physiology and nutrition. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. 7 points on how to quickly and easily burn fat and put aside the yo-yo dieting and all the craziness and conflict when it comes to nutrition. I hope you enjoyed this video. My name is JT Tapias with the Empty Your Bucket Nutrition Plan. I'll talk to you guys soon. Ciao, ciao.